The frequency that can transform your life is lying dormant in a bone you've probably never noticed. You might spend years trying to raise your vibration, shift your thoughts, repeat mantras, align chakras, and still feel like something isn't flowing. As if there's an invisible lock, a root that never breaks, a starting point that keeps being forgotten. Everyone talks about the third eye, about opening the mind, about rising to higher planes, but no one ever showed you what needs to be unlocked first. There's a door within your own body that you were never taught how to access, and as long as it stays sealed, everything you try to create remains stuck in subtle layers of frustration. This door isn't in your head or in your heart. It's at the base. More precisely, at the coccyx, the oldest bone in your body, the most overlooked and the most crucial for your true vibrational expansion. It holds memories your brain has already forgotten. It carries primal impulses that shape your fears, your desires, your silent decisions. It's the point of contact between who you were and who you can still become. And the most amazing part, it can be activated, not with ready-made formulas, but with conscious awareness, with vibrational presence, with respect for your energetic origin. When this base awakens, your entire body responds, and the flow you've been seeking starts to rise, not through the mind, but through the space that holds everything together. Today, you'll understand why this root was forgotten and how to recover the code it still holds. They taught you that spirituality begins in the mind, that you need to think positively, imagine frequencies, control emotions. But that's just the surface. There is something older than any thought, deeper than any intention. A language that your entire body understands, even when the mind doubts. This language vibrates, and its origin isn't at the top of your head. It lies much lower, in a small, still, often ignored bone. A sacred fragment that still pulses like an ancient drum. You can't see it, but it feels. It feels when you run, when you try to ascend without grounding, when you try to shape reality without releasing what holds reality together. Right there, in the coccyx, there isn't just a bone, there is a codex. Not a decorative esoteric symbol, but a living inscription embedded at the core of your vibration. Every repressed trauma, every unintegrated memory, every forgotten instinctive pulse rests there, and so does the key. A key that, when touched with awareness, can awaken the body as an instrument of transmutation. This is not a metaphor. It is real. Activating the coccyx is about releasing the dormant flow that connects instinct, presence, and purpose. This is what you were never taught. The energy that builds your spirituality doesn't come from outside. It rises, but it only rises when you go down and learn to inhabit the first portal, the one of the earth. Thoth said, "As above, so below." But no one ever explained what exactly is below. What vibrates in the coccyx isn't just biology, it's raw destiny. And when you awaken it, what felt like struggle becomes alignment. What felt like blockage becomes momentum. What felt far away begins to respond. This is where true manifestation begins. At the heart of the oldest traditions, there is one constant. The body is not an obstacle to enlightenment, it is the map. The ancients didn't see bones as inert structures. Each bone carried a symbol, each vertebra a portal, each pulse a message. And among them all, one was silently sacred, the coccyx. In Jewish mysticism, it was called Luz, the only bone that does not decay, not even in death. To the initiates, it does not die because it never forgot. It holds the vibrational memory of who we were, what we came here to do, and what we have yet to touch. In tantric schools, it is the point where the serpent sleeps, the primary energy, pure, before being shaped by the mind. The one that does not obey words, but responds to vibration. In Egypt, the Hierophants preserved the knowledge that every true initiation begins with the earth. The initiate did not rise to the heavens without first passing through the darkness of the body, because that is where the soul's filters are found. Thoth encoded this principle as a hermetic law. What is below supports what is above. But the modern world reversed the order. It tried to rise without roots, to fly without a body, to transform without embodying. It forgot that consciousness does not evolve through denial, but through transmutation. And where does this transmutation begin? At the base, in the silent foundation that time has not corrupted. When the initiate sits in silence and feels the weight of their own body, that is where they land in the Coccyx, not as an anatomical point, but as the amphora that holds the breath of what can be born. It is in this ancestral space, buried within you, that the code begins to reveal itself. You are programmed to believe the Coccyx is useless. But science itself, as it begins to quiet the noise of arrogance, is starting to hear what has always been there. Today, ultra-sensitive imaging sensors detect subtle movement at the base of the spine, almost invisible pulsations that carry cerebrospinal fluid like a silent tide rising toward the skull. This fluid is more than physiological support. It regulates the brain's pH. It removes neural waste associated with mental confusion. It responds to emotional states before you even become aware of them. And where does this pulse begin? In the Coccyx. There, a minimal contraction, often imperceptible, alters the entire flow of your energetic biology. Neuroscientists are now mapping the influence of the sacrocranial axis on human behavior. But the first to feel it is not the lab, it is the body. When you focus your attention on this point, you shift the rhythm of your frequency. You come into coherence with an intelligence that doesn't speak in words. Wilhelm Reich once said, "The body holds what the mind refuses, and what is held down there requires more than rational understanding. It needs vibrational listening." Science is beginning to explore this territory. But those who descend into it with presence never return the same. Descending to the Coccyx is not a physical movement. It is a vibrational surrender. You won't reach this center through force, nor through haste, but through precision. It's like activating a forgotten seed in the soil. It doesn't respond to commands, it responds to presence. Step 1. Grounding. Sit with your spine upright, but without tension. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to the base of your spine, not with urgency, but with reverence. Don't try to feel anything, just listen. The Coccyx is silent, but it is not inert. It vibrates at a frequency that only responds when the inner noise quiets. Stay there for 3 minutes. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight of your body resting on the ground, as if your vertebrae were melting into the earth. Step 2. Contact. Bring a gentle contraction to the pelvic floor area. Soft, almost imperceptible. This is the call. This micro-action activates the subtle tide of cerebrospinal fluid. You won't see it, but you will start to feel it. A subtle expansion, a pulse that does not come from the heart. Hold this contraction for 3 seconds, then release slowly. Repeat for 7 cycles. Each contraction is a knock on the door. The body begins to listen, and the Coccyx begins to respond. This is not an ordinary exercise. It is a vibrational invocation. You are not just accessing a bone, you are awakening a code. And that code recognizes those who come with presence. Now that the portal has been touched, something has begun to move. Not in the outer world, not yet. but within the silent field that organizes all your decisions, emotions, and frequencies. You have activated the point of origin. Now it's time to sustain the pulse and clear the way for the rise. Step 3. The channel. With your eyes closed, imagine a golden thread of light rising from the coccyx to the top of your head. This is not just a visual metaphor, it is a vibrational command. The body responds to intention when it aligns with feeling. With each inhale, feel the thread rising along your spine. With each exhale, feel it anchoring more firmly at the center of your structure. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. The more presence, the more intensity. This thread is the energetic representation of your alignment axis. It connects the dense to the subtle, instinct to awareness. And by establishing this bridge, you shift the base frequency of your vibration. Step 4. Release. The coccyx does not only hold creative energy, it holds accumulated density, ancestral memories, repressed emotional codes, frozen instincts. Allow them to come out. Bring to awareness a stagnant emotion, anger, fear, shame. Locate where it pulses in the body. Breathe into it. With each exhale, imagine that energy being drained through the base. You are not forcing it out. You are transmuting it. You are giving a path to what has been stuck. This step is the purification of the channel. Without it, the flow rises contaminated. With it, the body becomes an instrument of vibrational clarity. Now that the channel is clear, the body becomes more than just support. It becomes an instrument. You are not simply sitting, you are connected. Each part of your structure begins to reorganize itself around a new center. The coccyx, once dormant, now pulses like a vibrational antenna. And the rise begins to happen effortlessly, as if the energy already knows where to go. Step 5. Sensory ascension. Lie down comfortably. Keep your spine aligned, but without tension. Close your eyes. Visualize the flow of energy rising from the coccyx to the top of your skull. Not as a line, but as a tide. Internal, subtle waves rising like luminous mist along your spine. This perception is not mental, it is sensory. The body feels before it understands. Remain in this state for 7 minutes. If an image arises, let it pass. If a memory comes, welcome it without judgment. You are not guiding, you are allowing. That is the nature of true ascension. It is not manufactured, it is released. And it begins the moment the body is no longer ignored, but finally heard. Now, bring forth an intention, not a superficial wish, but something that represents your next frequency. Breathe with it. Anchor it in the coccyx, as if you were planting a new reality at the root of your being. And remember, everything born from a living foundation grows with truth. You don't know exactly what's missing, but you feel that something is. There's a subtle noise, not in the environment, but within, as if something is pulsing silently, asking to be remembered. It's not pain, it's not sadness, it's a kind of forgetting that weighs. And even when everything seems to be in place, something still doesn't respond. You do what you've always been told. Take care of your mind, organize your routine, meditate, but there is a gap between knowing and feeling. The soul does not respond to commands. It responds to vibrational coherence, and at some point you sense it. The answer is not above, it is below. It is in the body, it is in the base. One night without planning, you simply sit. Silence, the body settles on the ground, and your attention, for the first time, descends. Not as a technique, but as a calling. At the base of the spine, there is a dense point, invisible but alive, like a forgotten vibrational stone. You touch it with presence. You don't try to change anything. You just stay. Then something gives. A contraction dissolves. A warmth rises slowly, as if an inner door had been unlocked effortlessly. You don't imagine it, you feel it. You don't visualize, you know. Your entire body aligns, as if it had rediscovered its original architecture. And in that moment, without sound, without words, you realize the frequency that transforms is not activated by formulas. It awakens when you remember where you came from and step fully onto the ground of your own being. There is a point in the process where many give up, not because they lack technique, but because something inside silently sabotages continuity. It's the moment when you try to descend, and everything seems to resist. The body becomes restless, the mind speeds up, the urge to get up and do something else appears. This resistance is not a lack of preparation. It is a defense mechanism. You are getting close to a place where unspoken memories rest, and part of you has been conditioned not to go there, not to listen to what pulses in the dark, not to root too deeply, as if doing so would make you weak, exposed, vulnerable. But that is the great illusion. The base is not where you get lost. It is the point where you find yourself whole. And resistance, in truth, is an invitation. It shows up when the code is about to be accessed. The secret is not to fight it. It is to transform resistance into a portal. Every time restlessness arises, breathe more slowly. Bring your attention back to the point of contact with the ground. Feel the bones, feel the weight, feel the now. You are deprogramming an ancestral pattern. And for that, you need only one thing: vibrational consistency. Perfection is not required. What is required is return. Return, sit, feel. Each day, you dig deeper. Not into the dark, but into the origin. And in this process, you don't just find balance. You become capable of sustaining the energy you once only searched for. There is no quantum leap without roots. You spent your life searching for answers above. And now, you're learning to grow from where most people run. But no tree blooms by starting with its leaves. Every true manifestation begins at the root. And your root is not theoretical. It is vibrational. It is in the body, in the silence between thoughts, at the forgotten base of your structure, where the coccyx resides. This is not just a bone. It is an energetic amphora, a point of containment, of origin, of pure memory. It is where your untold story rests, and it is from there that your reality begins to be redrawn. When you learn to descend, you are not regressing. You are returning to the source. You are placing your feet where your consciousness was always meant to begin, because there is no flight without weight. There is no expansion without a foundation. There is no light that can hold itself without roots vibrating in the earth. Every time you ignore the body, energy scatters. But every time you listen, it responds, it rises, it transforms. It shows that spirit is not separate from matter. It pulses within it. You don't need to withdraw from the world to awaken. You need to return to the point where everything begins. That point lives inside you, silent, stable, unchanging. And when you connect with it, the entire universe begins to respond in a different language. Because you're no longer searching, you're vibrating. And what vibrates at the root reverberates through the whole. As Georges Bataille once wrote, "To know oneself, one must descend to where the light has not yet reached." There is no awakening without this descent. What you were avoiding was exactly what held the map. And when you go down to the most denied point, you don't find an obstacle, you find a code, a calling. a frequency that was only waiting for your presence to awaken. You don't need to go farther, you need to go deeper, because it is in the dark soil of your own structure that the roots of consciousness gain strength, and everything you seek already begins to move now. The light you are looking for does not descend from the sky, it rises from the base. When you choose to inhabit your body as a temple. If what you felt here made sense, don't let this energy fade away. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. In the comments, write, "The Coccyx is my foundation. Consciousness rises from it." This phrase seals the beginning of a new stage, one of embodied, felt, and grounded spirituality. Send this video to someone who is trying to rise but hasn't yet learned how to descend, and click on the screen to watch another video that reaches where words cannot. Because true awakening doesn't happen when you understand. It happens when your entire body decides to remember.